Overwatch 2. A game that I actually love, but I also hate it. Now, you must be wondering why I hate it, but also love it at the same time. Okay, that's actually pretty hard to explain in like a few seconds. So, I'm gonna just say the most problematic things for me as a noob, and maybe also for other noobs like me.
I'm Stan and I was wrong.
The first thing we need to talk about is the characters. Now, one of the things that I need to complain about there is that some of them are either too OP or too broken, like you can't even play at all, to the point that I feel like some of these developers suck at coding. These characters are Moira, Sombra, and Da Fish. Just kidding, it's Doomfist. So this is actually an opinion from my friend Wanjo. He says that Doofus is like unfriendly to like new players since you need to use a lot of strategy. Like you need to be you have to use your brain like a lot just to play him. And you're gonna be mostly blamed for if you fail your team. Now I believe that you could actually fix them. And here are my solutions. So the first one is Moira. Now you could make her have to aim more or at least reduce the distance of how far her normal weapon work. Also make the thing that if the player like us use the fate, which is actually an ability, it will pause the time for healing because since she's in the support, make it so that the timing that it will heal will be paused so that they have to wait more longer. Next is Sombra. Now we can make it look do that if she use hacking, it will lose her invisibility entirely because it's already fucked up. And let her hacking ability at least, affect Soldier 76 tactical visor because technically that is also a transplant. And also for her passive, oh my goodness, I can't say it. So the other passive that allows, like more damage to be inflicted on like hack players or characters. Make it drop to 20% or 30%. At least that's what I think that would be better. Now finally Doomfist. Now for him, maybe give him more health or replace his shield ability with his uppercut again. And another thing that is a problem for me is that some of the maps work for some characters, and that's what we're going to talk about now. Now, on to the second thing, that would be the maps. I hate about some of the game itself because there are some maps that only work for some characters, or some of these maps were removed from the game. Like back then, the Paris, the Temple of Anubis, the Volskaya Industry. Actually, Volskaya Industry is not there anymore. Like you can do it in like basically what I'm trying to say is that some of these things are no longer in the original gaming anymore. I mean, like any ranked game, unranked game, you cannot see some of these games. And there are some they are just completely removed, like the Hanamura. Like many people like the Hanamura. And like some of these maps are still in the game, but it's just that you cannot play them naturally anymore. And that's pretty much it. Like I don't understand why. But this isn't the end, by the way. There's still more, and that would be the third and final problem. On to the final thing I gotta complain about before I end this. The arcade mode. Really, the only time I ever play or will ever use this would be only for Junkenstein Revenge, and also the sequel, the Junkenstein Revenge, The Wrath of the Bride, if I say that correctly. But other than that, it would usually not be used most of the time. And you know what's my solution? Simple. Delete it. Or at least you don't replace it with something better. Because after all, this is Blizzard, a game making company, so I hope they do something good. But then they are the modern day Blizzard, so I'm not sure. So I hope they can think of something. But other than that, I generally like this game. But they're just something that make me, don't want to be like, one of those people that you just say something that you're like, oh, I hate this game, and they're like, sorry, sir, but I do not accept what you just said earlier. Now you know that. But you know what? After all, it's just a game, and it's not everything can be a masterpiece, and there's no such thing as a masterpiece. But other than that, thank you for watching, and that's it. Roll the intro. I mean, shoot. Hi, yeah, I kept messing up. Roll the outro.